Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at the source material around Kane Greythorn. He's a really central, and I think you'd agree, haunting figure from the Grimm Shadows universe.
Oh, absolutely. And our main source, an interview with the creator R.C. Rucker, gives us this intense look into his psychology. We're really dissecting the anatomy of his eternal self-loathing.
Eternal self-loathing. That's a great way to put it. So that's our mission today, right? To look past the dark anti-hero label and really unpack Kane Greythorn.
Exactly. We're talking about an immortal bounty hunter cursed with perpetual decay.
Yeah.
And the real key is the contradiction between his monstrous condition and this desperate 1,000-year fight to stay sane.
We're looking for the tragic figure under all that armor.
That's the goal.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. Kane is over 1,000 years old. He's a lone warrior, an absolute master with 2 sabers, but he's also a scholar.
A scholar of some very specific, very forbidden arts. The sources name them: void, blood, and necromancy.
No. Void magic is about existential corruption. Blood magic is manipulating life force. And necromancy is, well, it's undeath.
And he studies them because they're all tied directly to his cursed state. He's not defined by living forever. He's defined by what he just calls his condition. Immortality isn't a gift for him. It's damnation.
Okay, let's unpack that condition, because it's not your typical undeath. He's not just immune to aging.
No, not at all. It's a curse of active, ongoing decay. It's a slow, agonizing process. Over time, his flesh literally rots.
And his body changes, right? His teeth become fang-like, his hands turn into claws.
He's constantly falling apart. But here's the truly bizarre part, the paradox of it all.
The longer the decay goes on, the stronger he gets.
Inhumanly strong, unimaginably strong. The closer he gets to being this mindless monster, the more powerful his physical body becomes.
It's a perverse trade-off. Strength for sanity for his very self.
Which leads you to the big question. How does a perpetually decaying man operate as a bounty hunter across the world of Tantalon? How is he not just hunted down as a literal rotting corpse?
And it all comes down to this 1,000-year charade he's perfected.
He doesn't need to eat or sleep or even breathe.
But he does it anyway.
He does it to pretend, to conceal the fact that he's not remotely human anymore. After a millennium, he's become an expert at the deception.
And we do get these glimpses of the man he was. When he's restored, the sources say he's actually handsome.
Quite handsome, yes, but there's always one tell.
His eyes.
His eyes. They're a solid, bright yellow, and they glow depending on his emotional state. It's a permanent part of the curse.
And yet, he almost never lets anyone see that restored face. The sources talk a lot about his coverings. A black scarf, skull-like masks, metal masks. Why hide, even when he's whole again?
Because the curse has warped how he sees himself. Even when he's physically restored, when he looks in a mirror, all he sees is the decay. He sees the monster.
So the mask isn't just for others, it's for him.
Primarily for him. He can't stand to look at himself, so he definitely doesn't want anyone else seeing this temporary perfection he knows is just a lie.
That is, wow, that's a deep level of self-hatred. And this whole fragile state is maintained by a medicine. Let's talk about that. It's not just a standard healing potion.
No, it's more like a forbidden alchemical treatment. A strange mix of necromantic embalming fluids and very high-grade healing potions. Only a few scholars would even know the formula.
And it doesn't cure him?
Not at all. It just stops the decay, temporarily. It restores his body to the exact moment he was cursed 1,000 years ago.
And here's where it gets really interesting, the most devastating detail. Kane is an expert in these arts. He knows exactly how to make it.
He does. But for some unknown, perverse reason, every single batch he makes himself fails. It just doesn't work.
Which forces him to rely on these dangerous secret sources for his very survival. It feels like the curse is designed to be inescapable.
It's a form of psychological torture, isn't it? Knowing the answer, having the ingredients, but being denied the ability to save yourself.
And that desperation must be immense, because the alternative, if he runs out of that medicine, it's not just physical.
His mind decays too. It drives him completely insane, and he becomes what he dreads most. The beast.
The beast. And when that happens, his body seeks another way to restore itself.
A horrifying way. The sources are very specific. It craves the warm, fresh flesh of humans or humanoids, elves, dwarves, orcs. it doesn't discriminate.
It's an uncontrollable cannibalistic appetite.
Utterly uncontrollable.
Yeah.
And dead flesh, from a corpse, it barely helps, maybe for a few minutes. It's the fresh, warm life force that actually stalls the curse.
Which makes him a walking catastrophe, a danger to every single person he meets.
And this is why his self-loathing is so central. The sources are clear. Kane is not a cannibal by nature. The transformation, the feasting, it's his ultimate failure.
He's succumbed a few times over the centuries.
He has. And every single time, he swears it will be the last. He hates himself for it more than anything.
The moment he loses control, he becomes the very kind of monster he hunts. To get why that's so deep for him, we have to go back 1,000 years to when the curse began.
Right. The origin. Kane was once a ruler, the last true heir of Greythorn. He got involved with a powerful witch who, well, she loved him. She shared all her secrets with him.
She trusted him completely, gave him all this knowledge of void, blood, necromancy.
And once he learned everything he could, he betrayed her. Just turned her over to the mage hunters.
And the sources are specific. She never betrayed him. She just suffered through her torture alone.
And Kane watched her execution, watched her burn. The sources say he smiled and said nothing. He had the power to save her, but he just watched.
She cursed him as she burned, and he heard every word.
And only much, much later did he understand the full eternal weight of that mistake.
Okay, so here's the crucial part, the so what of his guilt.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually hate himself for the act of betrayal.
Oh, that was just him. He hates his intrinsic nature. He calls himself a selfish, power-hungry, manipulative bastard who always needs more.
So he hates the consequences of his nature, the price he's now paying for it.
Exactly. He sees the curse, the decay, the hunger. He sees it all as his just reward for betraying the one person who truly loved him. He knows he earned his damnation.
But wait, if he only hates the consequences, isn't that entirely pragmatic? Can we even call him an anti-hero if his remorse isn't for the act itself?
That is the exact contradiction. His remorse is pragmatic because he realizes his own self-interest destroyed the only chance he had at peace, at a real connection. Now he has eternity, but with this constant, unbearable price.
And that knowledge forces him into this cold, business-like survival mode.
It shapes everything. It's why he's always on the move. Years pass, people notice he doesn't age. Or worse.
People start disappearing when the beast gets out.
And he's a historical figure. He can't just wander anywhere in Tanalon. There are parts of the world where he's still remembered as a conqueror, a warlord, a pirate.
But the most tragic constraint is what the sources call the soil requirement.
Ah, yes. This is where the curse really sinks its teeth in. He has to sleep in the soil of his homeland, Greythorn.
Or what? The decay speeds up.
Dramatically. And his insanity grows. He carries the soil, mixed with other things, in a pouch around his neck. Always.
You have to think about the psychological toll of that.
Wow.
Literally carrying the physical reminder of your damnation, of the home you ruined around your neck. Every single day.
And he has to go back. Periodically, he's forced to return to his old fortress to refresh the soil.
Which causes him what the sources call tragic pain.
He has to confront what he lost. His home is now just a ruined, haunted fortress. He'll sit on his old, broken throne for days, just stewing in this hatred for who he was and who he's become.
It's like a self-inflicted penance.
And to make it worse, the ghost of the witch sometimes appears to him there.
And she tells him she still loves him.
Which causes him extreme emotional pain. It's the ultimate twist of the knife. He's strongest on Greythorn's soil. It's what keeps him stable.
But the psychological anguish makes it impossible for him to stay. He's forced to revisit the site of his greatest crime just to survive.
It's a brutal cycle. But for all this, for being a monster, he's not actively hunted by the dreaming empire of Dor, the ruling power.
Because he's made himself useful. His bounty hunting. He's worked for powerful people, even King Mondre. Many of them owe Kane their lives.
He stood before the Autumn Throne and spoken to the king as an equal, not a subordinate. He's earned a cold respect. They see him as a reliable, effective tool.
Which gives him a level of political cover most immortal cannibals probably don't get.
It all comes back to his core struggle. He refuses to just become the monster the curse wants him to be. The real battle is internal, for his sanity against time.
And his code, his cold discipline, is the only thing holding him back from that nightmare.
It's a constant management game. The sources say the more wounded he gets in a fight, the stronger the hunger for flesh becomes.
So using that medicine on time is crucial to keeping the beast in its cage. His physical reality is always threatening to overwhelm his mind.
What's fascinating here is how this mirrors the philosophy of the creator, R.C. Rucker. He sees Kane as sharing his own viewpoint on consequence.
Which is what?
finding value in everything, good or bad, accepting the consequences and seeing regret as a waste of time. Kane knows he's guilty. He accepts it.
He'd say something like, I'm screwed, but at least I can take some comfort in the fact that I screwed myself.
Exactly. It's owning his nature, even the worst parts of it. Rucker told this story about being mugged by 3 armed men in winter.
Right, I remember this. He stayed completely calm.
He did. He lied about some money he had hidden, talked his way out of getting hurt. He lost his wallet, but he survived.
And he found value in it. He learned how he'd react in a life-or-death situation. He said he's never a victim, but a survivor who uses the experience.
That's Kane. He treats the curse like Rucker treated those muggers. It's a strategic threat to be managed, not a tragedy to weep over.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Kane is trapped in this paradox. He's both an anti-hero and a villain.
Always. The moment he tries to find peace, to settle down, he inevitably becomes the villain. Because the beast takes over and he starts eating people.
So his whole anti-hero persona is born of necessity. To control the beast, he has to keep fighting. He seeks out things worse than himself to kill. It gives his violence a thin moral justification.
But his legacy? The sources are clear. His impact on Tanawon has been 1,000 years of bloodshed and death, either from the monsters he hunts or from Kane himself.
So what does this all mean for you? We've got a man or a creature fighting an unbeatable battle against time, armed only with self-loathing and a very fragile code.
And the creator points out his ultimate damnation. Kane is cursed to see everything he builds or cares about turn to ash. It's a tragedy. We mortals are spared. We get to die. We don't have to watch everything we love decay. Kane never gets that release.
Despite all his power, he's truly bammed because after 1,000 years, he still believes there might be a cure.
That hope, or maybe it's a delusion, is what keeps him fighting. So here's the thought to leave you with. What would it take to break your will if you knew your suffering was literally eternal, and yet you still refused to surrender to the monster inside?